Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Aside from questions about lifting sagging skin, the number one concern for many mature people is forehead wrinkles. When it comes to tackling those stubborn edged in lines, my go-to devices like microcurrent, radiofrequency are actually not my top picks. I love them for lifting and firming the lower face, but for truly resurfacing deep set wrinkles, there are better tools for the job. That's where two of my favorite powerhouse treatments come into play for minimizing forehead wrinkles. Microneedling and TCA peels are your best friends. And today, I'm going to actually tell you why these two treatments deliver the results that other devices just can't match for this specific area. Let's get started. My name is Jodylynn. If you're new here, welcome. We talk about ways to take care of the skin with a good skincare routine, SPF daily, and the help of beauty devices. I do not get anything done professionally, Botox, fillers, plastic surgery, none of that. I try to do everything at home, and that's what I share here on my channel. So if that's something that you're interested in, please go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you. Now, I know you are probably thinking, but wait, I love my microcurrents and I love my radiofrequency. It's actually one of my holy grails, and it is. Radiofrequency is my holy grail, but it is actually my holy grail for lifting and toning the jawline and firming that cheek, okay? But when it comes down to using the right tool for the right job, the issue with deep forehead wrinkles is twofold. It's a loss of collagen and it's a physical crease that is formed on the skin's surface. To fix it, we need to either rebuild the foundation from below or resurface the top layer. Microcurrent devices like the Ziip, Oralift are phenomenal for toning and re-educating your facial muscles, and they are amazing for creating that lifted, sculpted look. But the big frontalis muscle that is right here on the forehead, it doesn't need any lifting. Okay, not the way that your jowls do. So the problem isn't a saggy muscle. It's actually the crease in the skin on top of it. So while microcurrent is great for overall skin health and maybe you'll get some minimization, the best treatment is going to be microneedling TCA. So I believe that microcurrent can slightly minimize some wrinkles, but not really those deep set wrinkles, and I just don't think that you're going to get the dramatic results that I think a lot of us want. When we're talking about radiofrequency devices like NEWA, they're also really fantastic at stimulating collagen deep within the skin, but it's a slow, gentle build, and it doesn't directly attack the surface texture of a wrinkle that's already there, and I find it to be best for sagging skin. So this is why I pick microneedling and TCA peels for the specific concern. They are resurfacing treatments. They work more aggressively on the surface of the skin to physically break down and remove that wrinkled texture, forcing a more dramatic and noticeable regeneration. It's about directly tackling the crease itself. All right, so there's two types of forehead wrinkles. You've got dynamic wrinkles. These are the lines you see when you move, raising your eyebrows, but they're caused by the frontalis muscles contracting under your skin. But when we lose collagen and elastin from sun damage and the natural aging process, those dynamic lines stop bouncing back. They decide to stick around, and we all hate that. Anyway, I do, and I know that many of us do. And that's when they become static wrinkles. The lines that are there, even on your face, is completely at rest. That's called the static wrinkle. Our goal with at-home treatments is to tackle those static wrinkles by rebuilding collagen and resurfacing the skin. And I want to be very clear that these treatments are not going to give you a Botox effect. Okay, there's nothing at home that can do that. It's very, very different. But you're going to definitely get minimization, and I think you're going to be really happy with the results. But you need to be consistent. Everything needs to be consistent, and you do need to do multiple treatments with both of these options. So the first option is microneedling. At home, we typically use a device with a needle depth of around 0.5, which is actually 0.5 or above is collagen induction therapy, and I've been doing it microneedling at home now for probably about 4 years. What this does is create thousands of tiny controlled micro injuries in the skin. I've done a whole video about this. I think I have a three-part series all about microneedling and how to do it. You can check out the playlist here. But I know that sometimes the injury sounds really scary, but it's really micro. It's actually brilliant because of the mere fact that your body responds to these micro channels by kicking its natural healing process into high gear. It sends signals to produce a flood of new healthy collagen and elastin, the very things we need to plump the skin and push those wrinkles out from underneath. To supercharge this, what I love to do actually is microneedle with certain growth factors. Those micro channels from the needling allow those powerful serums to penetrate so much deeper, giving your skin the exact building blocks it needs to repair and rejuvenate. Now, my favorite ones that I use for microneedling at a 0.5 is the Calecim, the Professional Serum, or the Anti-Age Microneedling Solution. Both of these are wonderful. There are only certain products that I recommend for microneedling at a 0.5 or above. You don't want to just needle anything into your skin. That's really important. So that you know that. These are two that I really recommend. They need to be really kind of like clean formulas that are meant to go with microneedling, okay? So I discuss all of that in those videos. So the best part about microneedling, in my opinion, is the downtime is very minimal. You're gonna be a little bit red. You might feel like you got sunburned right after the treatment. It usually lasts, I mean, for me, it only lasts about 3 or 4 hours. That is definitely gonna depend on you and your skin. It could be 24 to 48 hours. But using those growth factors as well, I feel like helps to accelerate the healing process. So you might maybe have at most 24 hours. Let us know if you're longer. I would love to know if you've done microneedling. But this is a treatment that you can do every 4 to 6 weeks, and I would not do it any sooner than 4 weeks, okay? So you need to allow the skin to heal, and that is when all of the magic happens, is during that healing process. So who is microneedling for? Well, for me, based on my experience and research, I believe that if you are dealing with fine lines to moderate forehead lines, you want to improve your skin overall, the skin texture and glow at the same time. Also, you absolutely cannot have any social downtime. You can do this on a Friday, and I'm usually perfectly fine by the next day. My skin might be dry. I just need to put on a hydrating mask, and that's usually what I do the next day if my skin is very dry. But if you are looking for something safe, consistent, and a long-term strategy, I really believe that microneedling is probably gonna be the best thing for you. It's gonna be like slow and steady. You're probably gonna need to do about 4 to 6 treatments to really get like maybe the results that you want. And like I said, you can continue to do these every 4 to 6 weeks. So, and I think that it's really great, and it works seamlessly into your skincare routine because of the downtime. There's very little downtime. So let us know if you do microneedling, and yeah, we would love to know. I want to really quickly talk about also just some microneedling devices. Now, this is by Banish. This is my all-time favorite. I love how round it is. I love the large surface area, and I love this cap because it also is a cap that you can use to clean the device with. I love that. Now, this one is a cheap one that you can get on Amazon, I wanna say for like $20, and you can use these, honestly, both of these heads, because you have to purchase heads on these ones, about 5 to 10, I'd say about 10 times if you clean them really, really good. And then you're gonna wanna repurchase, you know, new needles. It's not something that you can use forever. All right, let's go ahead and talk about TCA peels. So TCA peels, and it depends on the strength, 13% to a 20% is really a medium depth chemical peel. If microneedling is, think of microneedling as more of like that gentle remodeling, and TCA peel is really your full-on renovation. It uses trichloroacetic acid to dissolve the bonds holding the outer layers of your skin together causing the damaged epidermis to peel away completely over the course of about a week. This forces a massive regenerative response from your skin, revealing a brand new, smoother, brighter layer underneath. Because it is more aggressive, you can definitely have a more dramatic effect on those stubborn, static wrinkles. However, and this is a huge however, with great power comes great responsibility and great risk. So I have to be very clear here. This is an advanced high-risk treatment. Done incorrectly, you can cause burns, permanent hyperpigmentation, and even scarring. The downtime is not a joke, and you will have significant redness and you will visibly peel. Sometimes in sheets. It really just kind of depends. But you'll be peeling for about a good 7 to 10 days. You must be absolutely militant about sun protection afterwards. And I actually, not only do I use sun protection, but I also wear a big hat if I'm going to be out to ensure that the sun is off from my face. That is really important. So who could potentially benefit from a TCA peel at home? This is only for you if you have deep static forehead wrinkles that don't go away when you relax your face and you are a very experienced at-home user. You have used low-strength peels before, you understand the process, you know how to patch test, you are prepared for the significant downtime risks, and you also are okay with the downtime. If you're a beginner or have darker skin tone, I would strongly advise you to see a professional for this kind of treatment due to the high risk of pigmentation issues. So think of this as a short, intensive sprint. It gets you there faster, like those results are much faster, but it's kind of grueling and a higher chance of injury. Now, if you go this route, if you decide that you want to look into TCA peels at home, I definitely suggest looking into Platinum Skincare. I absolutely love their website. They're the only ones that I use is Platinum Skincare. The founder, actually, that's what she specializes in, is doing TCA peels at home and also other peels at home. She has tons of information on her website. It's absolutely, truly amazing. I've also done a whole video on TCA peels and how to do it. But it is really all about how to do a chemical peel safe. And I have, like I said, a video sharing with you how to do that. And I always say, go slow, okay? You're gonna wanna start maybe with a TCA 13% and only do 1 to 2 layers. And then eventually you're gonna work your way up every 4 to 6 weeks, okay? I would not do them any more frequent. Okay, and there are definitely things that you need to know before doing a TCA treatment. Also, what happens during that process and what happens after and the care involved in all of those 3 steps. So make sure that you're doing your due diligence and do the research before. So the final verdict is honestly, the better treatment is going to depend entirely on you. For 90% of you watching, I would recommend starting with microneedling at 0.5 with growth factors. And I will list all of that information in the description, and I usually always pin a comment as well. It is safer, and it also has almost no downtime. It will give you beautiful cumulative results for both fine lines and overall skin health. It's also sustainable practice that you can build into your routine for years to come, and you're going to see more visible results within your skin for microneedling as well. And that same goes for TCA. So not only does TCA peels help with the forehead, but they help with pigmentation issues. You're going to see clearer skin. You're going to see just, around the eyes, around the mouth, you're just going to see dramatic results on those TCA peels as well. And I truly believe that it is a powerful tool, but it's a specialist tool. It should only be considered by the most experienced and cautious users who have stubborn wrinkles that aren't responding to other treatments and who are willing to accept the risks and downtime. So my goal on this channel is to always help you take care of your skin safely and effectively. And for forehead wrinkles, the combination of consistent and safety you get from microneedling is, for most of us, probably the winning combination. So can you combine these treatments? You absolutely can. For those of you that are skincare junkies like me, or you're beginning to be a skincare junkie, you definitely can combine these. And how I like to do it is I actually like to do microneedling with my growth factors during the summer, every 4 to 6 weeks, because of the downtime. There's very minimal downtime. I actually don't have any downtime except for when I actually do the treatment. I have a couple hours of redness, and I always do it in the evening, so I'm not going anywhere. The next day, I'm completely fine. Everyone's skin is going to be different, but then in the winter time is when I really like to focus on chemical peels because, well, first of all, the UV rays outside aren't as intense, even though there is sun, but it's not usually as intense as the summer months, as well as the downtime is definitely longer. So I have more time in the winter to spend, and I'm okay with that downtime in the winter as well. So that's kind of how I do it. I would love to know what you guys think. Let me know, are you like team microneedling, team chemical peels, or do you do a combination of both? I love hearing from you, and please keep those comments coming about your experience, because I notice that a lot of you guys have great experience, and everyone loves to hear other people's experience because it's going to help us to make a much better informed decision on what it is that we may want to try. So please, I love hearing from you. Let me know if you have any questions. And if you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. Make sure you subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you do not miss my upcoming videos. Until next time.